I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down? He should calm down.
I saw he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack.
Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please, just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber! Wanda! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got dropped, man! Are you kidding? No, you won the fight.
OMG, I am so excited.
Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
Yes. What is up? What is up, MCR family? Another Daily Edition show live on YouTube. Smash the like button, share the show, subscribe. If you're listening on podcast form, drop that 5-star review. Write that review out so I can read it on the show. And definitely, if you even want to drop 1 star, I read those too because they are funny. Even though Rob hates them, they are funny. Obviously, today's topics are going to be all over the place. This is our preview show and news of the day show because we obviously did not do a show yesterday. Shout out to Rob wanting to take a day off. It's okay. He's older, ladies and gentlemen. He's a little bit older. He has gray hair. He can't hang with the young one as much as some other people can. It's okay. It happens. So obviously we're going to preview and break down Canelo versus Rocky Fielding on DAZN, the first of his 10-fight/11-fight deal, including this fight with DAZN. Plus, go put the Ramirez versus Jesse Hart. I believe there's another card by Frank Warren on ESPN Plus this weekend. Nathan Gorman filling in for Daniel Dubois against Razvan Kahono, or Kahuni, or however you pronounce this guy's name that we really only know for losing 2 times. As well as we will cover MMA and UFC topics in the second half of the show. So UFC on Fox 31, the final UFC on Fox broadcast. RIP. The end of an era. To put it in perspective, Rob, I was at literally, in person, I was at the first UFC on Fox show 7 years ago. And it was Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos 1. And that was a great show. Now it's the end of it. Kind of sad, feels like the end of an era of me as a fan. It's just weird. And obviously UFC 233 being canceled as well. Tons of topics. But beside the point, going out to my main man, Robert Hearns, second cousin, twice removed of Eddie Hearns. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Thanks for the little trip down memory lane of your MMA past.
It's sad, man. It's sad.
I gave a bleep. But, yeah. So what, this is the equivalent of HBO dying out, or?
No, I don't know. I don't know if it's the equivalent because it can't be in just terms of years. Like the UFC on Fox deal was 7 years, for example. HBO boxing was 45 years. Like nothing can really compete with that. Let's be honest.
And is this a good event or is it pitiful like the last?
No, I really like this event. This should be a really good one.
Right, well there you go. Yes. Look, you've got 2 UFC questions out of me before I've even.
And also, I forgot to mention, there's a Bellator card, the rematch of Brett Primus versus Michael Chandler. You can find that on DAZN. Live on DAZN or Paramount Network as well.
Pumping up the network I can't even tune into. There we go. So enjoy. Yeah, you got 2 UFC questions out of me before I even brought up.
Yeah, no boxing, no AJ topics, nothing. This is wow.
That leapfrog. This is.
We've entered the twilight zone, ladies and gentlemen.
The moment. I need to be dragged back.
Quickly, remember, call in 323-870-4051, press 1 to get in the queue. If you're international, email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com to get a free international permanent call-in link. Definitely for this show, because it is going to be a very long one, we're going to be all over the place. If you want to call in at any time, we're going to take callers. There's going to be no designated caller time. So if you want to call in, get your picks in, whatever it may be, again, calling at any time. Robert, sorry.
That's all right. No, if this goes into 3 hours, 3.5 hours, that's cool.
I can't do that. I can't do that because I have another show and another channel to be on at 4 p.m. Pacific.
Don't leave your public like that. It's all right. No, no, yeah. Look, he's got me on all this MMA shit, but Anthony Joshua was on First Take with Kellerman. Yeah, he set the, in front of the American public. I've seen some like nice things from some Americans saying, yeah, that's better. Come on our networks and tell us you want to fight Deontay Wilder, and you've got a date set, you got a venue set, and you want to face champions. So maybe people want to call in and react to that if they've seen it. What else have we got? Yeah, obviously Canelo and Rocky. Will we get the let me get it in the background here. Rocky, or will it be if he dies, he dies? I don't know, but yeah, we'll talk about that on the card and obviously all the other cards. So yeah, wherever you want to start, Matt, we can. Well,
let's obviously start with the marquee card of the weekend, which is Canelo Alvarez. If this was on the Zone, this would have been pay-per-view. This would have been, I think, a different event in terms of feel and vibe, but we are here, the Zone, the new era, the streaming era, the next pay-per-view star, or the contemporary pay-per-view star in boxing right now in the U.S. is no longer on pay-per-view for the foreseeable future. First off, before we even delve into the fight card itself, because I actually really like the fight card, top to bottom, to be honest, even though the main event is a little bit of a mismatch, obviously. I'm going to ask the same question I asked, I think it was on Wednesday's show. What's the temperature like? What do you feel like, boxing Twitter is feeling for this fight? What do you feel like the streets are out there in the UK? Are they supporting their boy Fielding? Again, what is that temperature right now?
Yeah, I think from what I've seen on Twitter and things like that, and I know a lot of Americans are kind of feeling this hasn't got the same buzz. And I mean, bear in mind the last couple of Canelo fights have been Triple G, Vegas, and HBO pay-per-view, a massive machine behind it like that. So there was obviously way more push. And I mean, there's plenty of coverage of this. It's just whether that DAZN have got a YouTube channel which have been doing it all live, or that DAZN, if you've got the app, or the presser, the media workout, and their own version of 24/7. It's there to watch. It's just, do people know it's there? So if you're not following DAZN, you're not going to necessarily know where to go and look for it or find it. So I think I said last time, they're obviously a really young network, just starting out. So what are they, 5 months in? And, those obviously subscribers, their YouTube followers or subscribers, their Twitter and social media followers have got to get to a level of, the Showtimes and the HBOs and this and to get that big reach. And I think with Canelo coming on board, and Canelo has tweeted stuff and about, subscribing to it, sign up to DAZN. I think it's probably had a massive effect. I've seen a lot more like action on DAZN's tweets. I've seen a lot more likes and retweets and things like that. And but temperature, over here about the fight, yeah, we know it's happening. Again, I think I mentioned before, Canelo's not necessarily that big name here, because I think you mentioned it as well. Like not that there isn't any Mexicans here, but there isn't a big, Mexican demographic over here that it's going to be pumping this one up and making it a big event in the UK. But we know it's happening. And Rocky Fielding, it's going to be the typical, the Brit, the underdog. Plenty are going to be like, oh, can he do it? Can he do it? The likelihood, and the bookies will tell you, nope, he's not. But I'll do the Eddie Hearn salesman pitch. He's bigger, he's got the longer reach. There are, if it wasn't maybe Canelo, that might go, well, he's got a bit more of more than an outside chance. But this is great for Rocky Fielding from nowhere. He's kind of gone over to Germany, won a world title. You know, if whatever happens with the Canelo fight, I hope people will always remember he went to Germany, a tough place to go and get a decision, but he took it out of the judge's hands and got the stoppage over Zoiga, who was unbeaten. And he was, yes, a regular champion, but he was a world champion of, you know, however you want to hold that. But he's now Madison Square Garden, Canelo Alvarez, pound for pound, whatever you want to put him in at. And, you know, an absolute bank account full of cash now, I'd imagine.
I agree with a lot of what you say. About, you know, sort of the feel for this fight, it being on a new sort of platform that is just new itself. The deal itself with Canelo is new. Though I will say this, the amount of marketing dollars they've put into just DAZN and this fight is a lot. I've seen commercials. I mean, every time I've been on my TV, I've seen commercials for it. Every single time. I get that same Michael Buffer, you know, it's free commercial. I get that constantly. Across ESPN, Fox Sports, regular Fox, you know, all over the place. I've seen this ad, let alone digital ads. You know, they've really, I think, done a fantastic job of advertising A, DAZN, and B, obviously the fight and the link between the two. Quickly, we have somebody in the chat saying they are from Mexico. Let me know what the temperature is like out there in Mexico for this fight. I don't know how you can watch it in Mexico for this one. Love to, you know, hear that info, so let me know in the chat. Mexican GTTOW. I'm not even going to try to know what that means. But let's get to the fight itself and the card itself in terms of who's winning, who's losing, and how they're going to do it. Rocky Fielding, in my opinion, will last longer in this fight than let's say the Callum Smith fight, his only loss, which is a first-round knockout loss. Mainly due to, Callum Smith is a gigantic fucking super middleweight. He's probably going to top out at maybe light heavyweight, maybe cruiserweight. Callum Smith is that big. Rocky Fielding himself is a pretty big guy. So I can see Rocky Fielding lasting longer than that. Now, lasting long, no. I don't see really Rocky Fielding having the lateral footwork, the fundamental jab, you know, right cross counter. You know, there's certain particular techniques to be able to survive or B, just win the fight against Canelo. I see Canelo being the aggressor in this fight, walking him down, going to the body a lot. Similar to the Khan fight, similar to even the Triple G fight. He will throw that right hand to the body a lot early to set up that right hand up top, that right overhand hook. And I'm thinking 4th to 6th round, somewhere around there, should be a knockout win, TKO win, potentially for Canelo Alvarez. Rocky Fielding will have, you know, some moments where, he's looking good off the jab, but Canelo's going to cut off the ring. He's going to go to the body, and he's really going to beat up Rocky Fielding in this fight, in my opinion, and get him out of there. Your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I was sort of talking to a few guys, and you know, obviously, I want to wave the flag and say he can come away with the upset. But you know, this is the guy is in kind of dreamland, and I don't mean he's deluded in any way. I just mean, you know, just a guy from a small part of Liverpool. Never in his wildest dreams did he think he was going to be in this position, and he's absolutely just lapped it up, the whole thing, and just been there to enjoy the ride. And I just hope we don't see like an Amir Khan or a Kirkland type thing, like real badly hurt, really badly knocked out. If anything, like you know, like the Callum Smith body shot, just take a knee, think, fuck, you know, and I just don't want to see the guy get hurt, because he's not that I want to see people get hurt, but he's just seems like a real nice guy, and he's just loved every second of it. He's got, I think he said, like, basically his entire family are coming. This is his grand, you know, big moment.
Yeah, this is going to be the pinnacle of his career. He knows it.
Yeah. And like Eddie Hearn said, imagine he gets the win. How big is the rematch? You know, it's like when it's Rocky Canelo, you know. So you know, but all joking aside, like, I know Anthony Fowler's flown out there. I know I think DAZN picked up on it the other day that Carl Frampton called him because they're stablemates. and DAZN filmed it, and then they put it out as a tweet, and Frampton said, "Jesus, you bastards don't miss anything." You know, it's like Carl Frampton calls up Rocky, and I'm glad I kept it politically correct or whatever, you know, because I didn't realize I was being filmed having a conversation with my guy. But yeah, I just think the whole team's just trying to take it all in, lap it up, and I just hope he comes away, safe. And this, I guess, Canelo welcome to the zone fight is all, runs well.
I love the way you're characterizing it. Like, I really hope Rocky Fielding doesn't get permanently damaged in the fight.
No, I'm not saying he's gonna get permanently. I just mean,
like, fam, like it's okay. Rocky Fielding's not like the size advantage will help him last enough and not get hurt enough.
I'm not saying I hope he doesn't. I'm not thinking he's gonna get really badly bashed up, but I just, I like the guy, and he's just. I don't want something really like bad at the end of this like dream, pinnacle of his career. Like, just to come away with it, a respectable loss to Canelo, and that would be perfect. Because, well, perfect's obviously winning, but a reality perfect is more of a respectable loss. But I could see this going mid rounds, like you said, maybe 6, 7, 8. I don't know, but
I don't see it going that late. I could be wrong, but
no, you could.
I mean, the real one step up in competition we have from Rocky Fielding, he got put out in 1 round, so it's so hard to really.
Yeah.
And plus, again, Canelo, the weight gain, he started at 147. People obviously peg him as the 154 pounder that moved up to 160, but he really started at 147 pounds.
Yeah. He had 2 fights at 160, right?
Yeah, and I think that alone is a factor. Like, I've always said size matters. Like, weight classes exist for a reason. Canelo is not going and fighting Gilberto Ramirez, who we're going to talk about later, Callum Smith, one of the top-tier guys of the division. He's fighting somebody under that tier, which I think is a smart move overall. It's something that Mikey is not doing, something that Rigo did not do. It's something that Amir Khan, Kell Brook, none of these guys have done. They took on the top number 1 guy in the division, and they all lost. Mikey, in my opinion, will lose. Canelo versus Rocky Fielding is not that. It's just not a parallel to those fights at all. Moving on to the co-main event, David Lemieux versus Terriano Johnson. Johnson coming off a loss into this fight. David Lemieux obviously coming off that huge knockout win over Spike O'Sullivan. That sent him back down to junior middleweight. I'll be honest, Terriano Johnson, I haven't seen him in some time. I haven't really cared to see him in some time. I don't know how he's looking, but the fact that he's coming off a loss to this fight, huge red flag. David Lemieux, in my opinion, only really loses to, really good boxers with great jabs, great footwork. Look at the Triple G Billy Joe Saunders fight. That's sort of the blueprint to beat a David Lemieux. Terriano Johnson's just not that guy from what we've seen. David Lemieux should get him out of here 6 rounds, 8 rounds, somewhere around there. Gary on that good shit already, saying Terriano Johnson gets the W.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Oh, Gary, man, you got to call in now, Gary. But Rob, thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, he lost in August last year against Derevchenko. So
that was his last fight?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Gary.
25th of August, 2017, TKO loss to Sergey Derevchenko.
Gary, I'm just going to say this, man. If you really picked Terriano Johnson, that's not a joke, chat.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
I'm just saying, Gary. God bless you. But, man, that is such a bad pick, in my opinion.
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
That's another great soundbite. I love that one. Moving on to Tevin Farmer versus Francisco Fonseca. I mean, other than Fonseca is a tough guy, like he can take punishment, Tevin Farmer is just light years better than Fonseca. And I see a clear unanimous decision or a very late fight TKO stoppage. I mean, 9, 10, 11, somewhere around that. But Yeah, this should be again another tune-up as he's been getting. I mean, he's fought how many times in 4 months? I mean, what's that stat that's been thrown out?
Let me check. Tevin Farmer, he fought this year. He fought in August against Billy Dibb. He was back out in October against James Tennyson, and he's back out obviously in December. And I believe they're looking to fight him in Philadelphia in March if he comes away with the win in this one.
Dude, I'm just saying, stitching back to that ad, BoxRec has an ad of DAZN just running constantly right now on my screen, and it's really annoying me. Because skinhead Canelo, even though he's not a skinhead, not really making an accusation, but just that the shaved head Canelo. It just throws me off. I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, who's this old guy fighting? I'm like, oh, shit, it's Canelo. Man, grow your hair back out, dude. I'm just saying. It's a bad look. But thoughts on the fight, Rob? I don't think you actually mentioned or talked about it.
This is, I don't know how Gary's picking this one, but I'll go with Tevin Farmer. I think he is absolutely high on life at the moment. I think getting with Matchroom, getting regular fights, with a title, making a shed load of money each time. I think he's absolutely buzzing, full of confidence. And he's suddenly the guy with the bout, as Gervonta wanted him to go and get a bout. He's now got that bout and he's doing all the shit talking. It's things turn around and come around, and he just seems super uber confident right now, and I can't see him losing this fight at all. I see him stopping Fonseca? Yeah.
Yep. The guy that fought Gervonta Davis on the Mayweather undercard, I believe. Mayweather-McGregor undercard. Where he missed weight. Isn't that the fight where he missed weight and had to actually vacate the belt?
He could fight for the title. Only Fonseca could. But
a little boxing trivia for you guys listening.
But yeah, no, I see. Shout out to Tevin Farmer's BoxRec picture, but never mind.
Moving on. Katie Taylor versus Eva Wallstrom, who is undefeated, who I'll be honest, I have not seen, have not heard of. Shots at me.
What are you talking about? This is the toughest fight to date.
I haven't heard of her. Not that she's not a legit opponent, like she's undefeated. I'm going to assume she's legit in some capacity, even though 135 is kind of a very top-heavy division at the moment for women's lightweight. Katie Taylor should win this one easily. Katie Taylor is a phenom. She, in my opinion, is the best technical boxer in female boxing right now. And even though Eva Wallstrom, shout out to her.
World.
What was that?
Number 2 in the world, according to BoxRec.
I'm not disputing that. I just haven't heard of her.
Very quick. She's got 22 wins with 3 KOs.
And look, I know Nija. Shout out to Nija, our proud Patreon member and long-time listener. Big proponent of female boxing. She might give me shit for this, but I'm going to remind her, it took her like 3 weeks to watch Katie Taylor's last fight. I'm just saying. I'm going to watch the shit live, Nija. Step it up. Even though I don't know who Eva Wallstrom is. Shout out to, is she Eastern European, German? Where's she from? Finland. Oh, that was close. Should went a little more north to the Nordic countries. Moving on. In a fight that really isn't getting talked about at all, for reasons I understand, but 3-4 years ago, this would have been a fight that could have made event at HBO. Saddam Ali versus Mauricio Herrera, a fight that I'm intrigued by. Like, obviously, Mauricio Herrera isn't what he used to be. I sort of chalk that up to his lifestyle outside the ring, just from being around him at fights. This is a guy that I went and saw him fight at some podunk casino in Palm Springs, California. And he immediately was in like a full leather like suit from the 80s style. Swear to God, man. And he was hammering down mojitos all night after he fought. That guy was, I mean, I've never seen anyone drink like he did. Just saying, from my own eyes. And that was now 2 years ago, going on 2 years ago. He hasn't looked good since arguably the Danny Garcia fight. Saddam Ali, though, his real only problem is that he can get knocked out, that he can get finished, that he can get hurt. I don't think Herrera's that guy. I think this is going to be a good display of both guys' boxing ability, but I think Saddam Ali is still the more prime, air quotes, prime boxer at the moment. Thoughts on this, Rob? And then we're going to go out to Gary, who just called in.
I think Ali is probably favorite. I saw Akenbarak talking to Herrera, and he was sort of like, apparently kind of was offered this fight. And I think Ak asked him about, he'd been out the game for a little while. And what was it, sort of the decisions you've had in the past? Did it sort of make you, sort of question boxing? And he was kind of like, yeah, but, this fight came up. We'd sort of been looking for just the way he was talking didn't really fill me with too much confidence. But obviously, I think Saddam Ali, whether he's got a questionable chin, I don't know. It was Munguia, who we believe hits pretty hard,
and Jesse Vargas.
Yeah, at 147, I don't know.
And let's be honest, that entire win for Jesse Vargas is where the myth of his power has come from. That and the Timothy Bradley knockdown, but predominantly that Saddam Ali knockout. Everyone now thought, post that fight, that Saddam Ali was trash and Jesse Vargas was this huge power puncher now in the division. I think both those things turn out to be untrue.
Yeah. But I guess in this matchup though, I'm going to obviously side with Saddam Ali. Whether it's I mean, maybe this is a decision. This goes to a decision. I don't know. I probably. Welterweight. So Saddam Ali is dropping back down to welterweight. So
I don't see Saddam Ali putting Mauricio Herrera out of there. I don't see a knockout at all happening. We got to Gary in Dallas, and Gary, I'm going to remind you that there is also the Gilberto Ramirez Jesse Hart fight. If you want to quickly make your predictions on that, etc. Because I know I did say call in at any point, but I also want to give you every opportunity to make your picks. Gary, what's up?
I totally forgot about that fight. That's tomorrow, right?
Yes, that is tomorrow on ESPN Plus.
I totally forgot about that fight.
ESPN Plus, ladies and gentlemen, not ESPN.
I kind of feel like Jesse Hart figured him out in the second half of that fight, but he was too behind on points in the first fight. I wouldn't take Jesse Hart in that fight to pull the upset. I'm sure he's an underdog.
Yeah, I think he's an underdog. I don't have the odds in front of me, but I would assume so.
I kind of think I've never really been that impressed by Gilberto Ramirez. Like, he's good. I don't say anything special about him. I'm gonna take Jesse Hart to win that fight.
Okay. What about? Do you want to go to the Canelo Rocky Fielding card?
Well, yeah. Let's start with David Lemieux and Toriano Johnson. I don't get your thing with David Lemieux. Like, why can't Toriano Johnson beat him?
Why can't he beat him?
Yeah. And I just want to remind your audience that you did pick David Lemieux to beat Billy Joe Saunders.
Yes, and I was absolutely wrong about that.
You also picked Flanagan to beat Prograis.
Oh, Rob with the assist. I'm
just saying, if you're going to throw mud,
We've all picked fights horribly wrong before. Like, we all have.
No, I'm just saying that has something with David Lemieux. David Lemieux's trash. Like, I don't understand why anyone thinks he's good.
He's clearly a top 10 middleweight.
We went over this. He's not a top 10 middleweight.
We went over this. Gary, we did go over this, and we did determine that he was a top 10 middleweight, and everyone in the chat determined that.
He was number 10, and that was before you put Rod Brandt in the mix. Would Rod Brandt beat David Lemieux?
Well, since that fight did happen, let's go through the list again. I'm down to go through the list again. Why not? I got time today. We can run through the news topics later. We don't really need to step on that too much. Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, Jamal Charlo, Daniel Jacobs, Demetrius Andrade. That's the top 5 right there. Let's go through the rest.
All right. So you got Billy Joe. Did you say Billy Joe?
Yeah, Billy Joe. Sorry. Billy Joe, number 6. And again, not in any specific order right now.
Willie Monroe.
Okay.
Willie Monroe would outclass David Lemieux. I just don't understand this appeal.
I see the argument. I see the argument, Gary. That's why I just scoffed and said okay. 'Cause I'm not going to really argue against it. Because I see the logic. I won't agree with it, but I see the logic. I'll give you Willie Monroe.
Okay. Lomachenko.
Okay. Only a step-up fight he lost.
And Rod Frank.
That's 9.
Who did we have ahead of him last time? I had somebody else that you agreed because he was at number 10.
It might have been Moreta.
Oh,
it might have been Moreta.
Yeah, he sucked. He looked real bad. Ooh, that's kind of like even. Like they're. Ooh, yeah, we probably have Moreta ahead of him.
You have Moreta ahead. Wait, hold on. You have Moreta ahead of David Lemieux. When Moreta's best win is a rematch where he lost against Hassan Nadam, who David Lemieux beat years before that.
No. I'm not saying Moreta. I guess, okay. I mean, I have to run through the names. I don't know. Off the top of my head, that's 9.
Would you?
Top of my head, better than you. Marco Antonio Rubio. Can we count him? You think
No, stop, Gary. Did you? Well, hold on, Gary. You just brought up Marco and Antonio Rubio or whatever his name is, the guy that got knocked out by Triple G 5 years ago.
When someone has to say
the one that knocked out David Lemieux, yeah, that's the one.
Yes, years ago. Gary, we have this conversation about Sean Porter, Kell Brook in the rematch. Just because a guy beat someone years ago does not mean he beats them now. Things change.
All right, so that's 9, and then okay. I wish you would Ness because I would take Gabe Rosado and Ness would go crazy.
That's funny.
So that's a good one. Box record got Martin Murray at number 10.
That's a fucking joke.
Yeah, Martin Murray. I mean,
isn't Martin Murray at 168 right now?
Like,
no. Oh, okay.
And then I mean, Salicki's the other name that comes to my mind.
Yo, stop, Gary. Okay, we're moving on. Okay, David Lemieux, top 10 middleweight. I feel like that's undisputed at this point. Come on. To the fight itself. Gary, versus Terriano Johnson. Explain to me the path of Terriano Johnson winning. How does he win?
He outboxes him and outmoves. He's a better athlete. He's a better boxer.
What fights do we have to indicate that he's better than David Lemieux?
Getting knocked out by Curtis Stevens and losing to Lomachenko.
So wait, hold on. So him losing to Curtis Stevens, a guy that David Lemieux knocked out viciously in knockout of the year fashion, is a sign that Terriano Johnson beats.
He landed, but he was losing.
But
was he getting outboxed in that fight by Curtis Stevens when he knocked him out?
Wait, are you talking about David Lemieux? You think David Lemieux was losing to Curtis Stevens?
I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was clearly behind that point when he knocked Curtis Stevens out.
Okay, we can move on, Gary. Agree to disagree.
Okay.
Because I just cannot agree with that on any level.
I always like when someone's losing on points, but they get knocked the fuck out.
And that's what we go to. Like, come on, Gary. Terriano Johnson's going to get knocked out against David Lemieux.
Because if you think about it, Gary,
I'll be honest. Derevchenko, the fucking hype job, he gets knocked out by David Lemieux.
I'm so ridiculous. Derevchenko was right there with Danny Jacobs.
What do you mean he was right there with Daniel Jacobs? Were you watching the same fight? Daniel Jacobs won. He won 9 rounds, 10 rounds.
He didn't win no 9 rounds or 10 rounds. He won. Yeah, he won. It was close, though. There's no 9 rounds, 10 rounds.
Okay, Gary.
He won 8, maybe 7. He won the fight. For sure he won the fight, but it was a split decision, wasn't it?
No.
It was like 115, 113. Was it a majority? I know at least one judge didn't score for Jacobs.
Yeah, and one judge had Canelo a draw against Mayweather.
But okay, ask the people in your little town. They thought not that Jacobs won the fight, but the fight was close. The fight was really competitive.
I didn't see in terms of technique, I did not see Sergey Derevchenko being competitive at all with Daniel Jacobs. I thought he got outboxed easily. He looked one-dimensional, just like David Lemieux looked one-dimensional against Billy Joe Saunders.
Okay. What I'm saying is, at no point was David Lemieux even competitive with Billy Joe Saunders. That was an embarrassing, ridiculous fight.
Mm-hmm. Billy Joe Saunders is also a much better. Billy Joe Saunders is a much better fundamental boxer than Daniel Jacobs in terms of footwork. There is a difference there. You have to admit that.
Would you at least acknowledge that Derevchenko won rounds?
Yes, of course he won rounds. Of course, yeah, he won 2 rounds. Yeah, he won 2 rounds. The ones that Jacobs took off.
More. Okay, I thought Jacobs clearly won. I thought the fight was competitive. I thought it was 7-5, 8.
Gary, we will not agree on Terriano Johnson beating David Lemieux. The great part is we have Saturday to watch, and we have Monday's review show, and obviously, I don't know if I'm going to do a live fight chat for this channel. I'll be honest. Sorry. But we're definitely going to have shows where...
a live fight chat for Toriano Johnson and David Lemieux?
No.
You guys do a live fight chat for that fight.
No, for the card. Like, I don't... for the card, for the Rocky Fielding Canelo card. I know this is the big fight you want to talk about on the card, not Canelo Alvarez, pay-per-view star being on DAZN. It's okay. But Gary, agree to disagree on David Lemieux, Terriano Johnson. Let's move on to the rest of the fights. What's your picks?
I picked Kevin Farmer. I said I don't know about too. I'm picking Kevin Farmer to win that fight. I just think Francesco is going to get in trouble. I think Francesco is going to win some rounds. I think it's going to be a scrap. But I definitely picked Kevin Farmer to win. This is a really good card. Who else is on this card? There was Virgil Ortiz is on this card, right? So there's Ryan Garcia and Lamont Roach. They put everyone on this card.
Yep.
Obviously, all those guys are going to win, but this is a really good card.
Virgil Ortiz.
Yes, he said that. Right.
Oh, I did. Right. Yeah. Saddam Ali, Katie Taylor.
Prospect in boxing.
Sorry, go Gary. Rob's being rude. Cutting you off.
I was just saying Virgil Ortiz is the best prospect in boxing.
Okay.
What was I going to say? No, I picked all the A-sides to win outside of Toriano Johnson. None of those guys from Mont Roach, Ryan Garcia, Virgil Ortiz, they aren't fighting anybody, are they?
No one of note. Hold on. Lamont Roach is fighting Alberto Mercado, and he fought. Who did he fight? I remember seeing this.
Yeah, I saw it. That's a different Alberto Mercado. That's not the Puerto Rican WBA champion. That's a different guy with the same name, isn't it?
He's from Puerto Rico.
But he is from Puerto Rico. Is there just 2 Puerto Rican Alberto Mercados? Which wouldn't surprise me.
Alberto Machado beat Jezreel Corrales.
No, not Alberto Machado. I think we've seen this guy. No, we've seen him fight.
Jason Velez.
Yeah, I think we saw him fight Jason Velez before on some card, like a Miguel Cotto card.
Okay, I think so. That sounds about right.
Because it says it was on DirecTV, and I have DirecTV, so I remember seeing it. It must have been on like BN Sports. I must have seen this guy before. I don't know if that means anything, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them before.
So, you've seen Ryan Garcia enough times. You've seen Virgil Ortiz enough times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who looks better to you? Like, if you had to put your
that's not a debate. That's not a debate. Virgil Ortiz, but I don't think Ortiz is the best prospect in all of boxing. Out of him and Ryan Garcia, of course.
Dallas. I don't know if you knew that.
What was that?
He's from Dallas. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, that explains it. Never mind. Gary from Dallas. Well, Gary, any last thoughts? Because we do have to go to a bunch more topics.
No, that's it.
Thank you, Gary, for the call. Always love a good debate about really easy fights to pick with you. Thank you. Makes my win-loss ratio look very good. Moving on, I think, like Gary mentioned, like Ryan Garcia's fight on this card, Lamont Roach, Virgil Ortiz Jr., there's some good prospects. Keep an eye out. I love that Ryan Garcia has moved to Canelo's team and trained with Eddie Reneso. And, even though I've been a staunch defender of clenbuterol contamination, Ryan Garcia looks a little bit bigger coming from that gym. I'm just saying that Mexican carne asada, man, it's looking good out there. No judgment, though. No shade. Maybe just a good training regimen at an actual world-level gym for once. I mean, that could just be it. And him obviously getting older and not being a 19-year-old kid anymore. That kind of helps as well. But digressing from that obvious conspiracy theory joke, Rob, you ready to move on to the next card of the day? Or the weekend? Yep. Oh, quickly. I do want to touch on this, on Lance Pugmire's breaking news. I'm sorry, because it's still on Canelo and that whole situation. Lance Pugmire coming out after talking to Oscar De La Hoya and saying that Daniel Jacobs and Triple G are not the option for May 4th. On top of that, Triple G Promotions has been taken off of the reservation of T-Mobile Arena. It is just now Golden Boy Promotions. And this is coming only 24 hours after Oscar De La Hoya was on TMZ saying he was going to fight Daniel Jacobs next, most likely. Rob?
And this is why Gary's pick won't be winning, because this is for, I think it's going to be Lemieux. Canelo Lemieux.
Exactly. I think he even mentioned Terriano Johnson, or maybe it was Lance Pugmire mentioning it. But yes, it's not going to be Daniel Jacobs or Triple G for that May 4th card. Just letting everyone know.
I think in Lance Pugmire's thing, it was like, quote, poor Terriano Johnson. Something like that. The sacrificial lamb for Lemieux to get the big fight. Something like that.
Quote, Terriano Johnson is not fucking winning this fight. Gary, get off the weed.
Just paraphrasing, reading between the lines what Lance was really getting at.
Yes. But digressing. Tomorrow's card, which obviously Gary touched on slightly, Gilberto Ramirez versus Jesse Hart, the rematch number 2. I'm one of maybe 8 people. I'm going to go 8 people, not 3, 8 people that are actually excited for this fight. I thought the first fight was really entertaining. I thought Jesse Hart has looked nothing but better since that fight. And like Gary said, it looked like Jesse Hart figured out Gilberto towards the second half of that fight and was winning down the stretch. I think this rematch, you're going to see more of a continuation of that. I think Jesse Hart's footwork is far, far too quick for Gilberto Ramirez. And I've seen Gilberto up close fighting, and I should say sparring guys in the gym, guys that aren't anywhere near the level of Jesse Hart. And he struggles with them. This is a guy that's now 38-0 and really has not fought a lot of people of note. I think he's maybe fought one top 10 super middleweight in his reign. Like, it's just a joke here. And I think Jesse Hart is that top 10 super middleweight. And on top of that, Jesse Hart is far bigger, far stronger. I think he should be able to use his jab, use his lateral movement, and counter Gilberto Ramirez consistently. And when he does get Ramirez hurt, he will, I think, step on the gas pedal, go into 4th gear, and finish Ramirez, because I think Ramirez is there to be hit, and he's there to be capitalized on. And Jesse Hart has shown nothing but killer instinct since that first fight, and that's a huge improvement for him. Rob, thoughts on this main event?
Yeah, as long as it's a better fight than Jesse Hart versus Nicholson, I'll be happy. That was a horrible fight to watch. But yeah, just a general feeling is that Gilberto Ramirez is just living on borrowed time as far as his title reign. I think the sense I get on Twitter, I've got to admit, I haven't seen a great deal of him, but I think a lot of people are kind of tired of him. And Jesse Hart's got a good knockout ratio, and I think I agree. Since that Nicholson fight, I saw the next fight. I can't remember who it was against, but he looks pretty good to me. And as long as it's a good fight, I'll be happy to watch. But I've not got any great feelings towards it. But I just hope. I think a lot of people are hoping that the reign of Ramirez comes to an end, because I don't know, there's a sense that he's kind of fought lesser competition than maybe, you know.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. I mean, for all the criticism a guy like Deontay Wilder gets for his huge, long record without really fighting on people, Gilberto Ramirez should get that same criticism.
Yeah, but this is just a division that isn't so. Do you know what I mean? It's not one of the real big glamour divisions, right?
No, but I think he's had Carl Froch in the division at some point. He's had George Groves. Like, he's fought across generations in some sense, and he hasn't really fought anyone of note. Again, I mean, look at his resume. Who's his best win? Honestly, I'm looking down at Jesse Hart. Looks like his best win, and that's a problem because Jesse Hart universally is not regarded as a top 10 super middleweight.
I mean, a 2016 Arthur Abraham, no. Yeah, it's littered with people I just haven't heard of.
No. And people we don't care about, fights we don't care about. And it's not like he's Mike Tyson in here knocking out people quickly and in devastating fashion. There's been a lot of snoozers in there.
Go down to his first two fights. They were both debutants, obviously. And then, you know, usual thing, you stack that record. But, you know, when you start looking, this is like you say, what we do to Deontay Wilder over here, 38 fights in. You know, has there ever been an inclination to try and unify a division? You know,
no, never.
So let's go, Jesse Hart.
Do it, please. Do something.
Do it for the good of boxing.
Oh God, sweet Jesus, please. And let's be honest. Maybe it's because Gilberto Ramirez is co-promoted by Zanfer Promotions, and he's not a sole top-rank property in a sense. Jesse Hart is. That's why I think we've seen a lot more of a promotional push behind Jesse Hart as of late. If he gets to win, I think he's going to be right up there in terms of promotional push as a Teofimo Lopez. Even though Teofimo Lopez and Jesse Hart would be at a different stage in their career, Teofimo gets a lot of push because of his Puerto Rican heritage. And obviously, Jesse Hart with that championship belt, I think we'll get that push as well. He's going to be right under, sort of that tier, right under a Loma Crawford, where the likes of Shakur Stevenson sort of lays. Michaela Mayer's close to that. Certain people in that top-ranked stable. Bryant Jennings is another one that's sort of main events that is right below that top tier that does NBA average numbership or better, like Loma and like Crawford. But the rest of the fights on this card, I'll be honest, aren't the greatest, but we do have some good names, like Joshua Gurr Jr., fantastic prospect, one of the better prospects in the game right now, I would say. Arguably a better prospect than Virgil Ortiz. Just saying, Gary. Just saying.
I want smoke.
No, just kidding. I don't know. Michaela Mayer's on the card. Jamal Herring's on the card. Gabriel Flores Jr. on the card. Just sort of, the prospects of note that Top Rank have been building for the last, year and a half, 2 years. Where is this fight being shown in the UK, or is it being shown in the UK? I'm curious, Rob.
I'm not sure. If it is, I more than likely think it will be maybe Box Nation. We might just get the main event rather than like that one.
You would hope with like the Frank Warren BT deal that there could be a reverse of that, where it's like the ESPN Plus to the BT deal in some way.
Let me look on the Box Nation schedule.
Just curious about that.
Yep. Ramirez versus Hart. Yep. It's on Box Nation. 2:30 a.m. people.
Okay, transitioning to another topic, news of the day. We're going to wrap through this news as quickly as possible and get to the MMA half of the show, cover UFC on Fox 31, Bellator, Primus versus Chandler 2, and the rest of the news, like UFC 233 being canceled outright. Oh, my goodness.
It's bullshit.
Man, that card was so great. In LA, too. It was in Anaheim. I like cards that are in Anaheim. It's a better venue and better parking than Staples. God damn it. But anyways, let's get to Robert Hearn's favorite fighter of all time.
Whoa. Sweet.
Sorry. The second favorite fighter of all time. No disrespect to Ricky Hatton.
Don't know any of my list. Well, maybe Ricky Hatton, you got one.
He's not on your list?
Who, Joshua? Yeah, of all time?
Well, you shouldn't have said the name. Now people know who we're talking about. Way to spoil the surprise, Rob.
Well, I think you maybe made them know.
Bullshit. God damn it, Rob. Way to ruin the fucking surprise. That quick, story that's totally off tangent. We got my dad a new barbecue, right, for Christmas.
Yeah.
And sorry, it's about spoiling surprises. Just follow me up here, okay? It's comparing it to what you just fucking did right now.
You just spoiled it now.
Yes. My kid saw the present. The second my kid saw, his grandpa, he said, "This isn't a present for you," and had the biggest smirk on his face. I'm like, God damn it. Damn it. It couldn't last 5 seconds.
This isn't for you. I promise, Granddad, like winking.
That's you saying, "Oh, Joshua isn't my favorite fighter." Yes, he is, motherfucker.
Have you been eating chocolate? No.
Hold on.
April 13th in London. So I don't know what more I have to do to get that message across. He's more interested in fighting Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury holds no world titles.
And you're really okay just waiting that out and seeing what's what and eventually fighting them?
I can't control what Deontay Wilder does. I can't control what Tyson Fury does, or even as far as what they say. But what I can do is control what I say and what I'm doing. I made sure with the negotiations, I booked the date in advance, set the venue in advance, and I'm making my point clear in front of everyone watching. I'm willing to fight any one of these guys, especially the champion, Deontay Wilder, April 13th.
Real quick, Tyson Fury. Real quick, Tyson Fury.
I'm not interested in Tyson Fury.
You're not interested?
Because he's not the champion. That's where I'm coming from.
But lineal, he beat Klitschko. He hasn't lost since then.
That lineal status. When I was joining the heavyweight ranks, no one told me about lineal champion.
Yeah, I mean, AJ. Lineal does mean something, but we're not going to get bogged down in that in some boxing nerdism. But you get the gist of it. Obviously, AJ went on ESPN First Take, their sort of flagship show with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, and laid down the gauntlet in a way, saying, April, Wembley, Wilder, let's go. Obviously, Mauricio Sulaiman has come out and said that fight can be made and it can supersede the Tyson Fury rematch, blah, blah, blah. Rob, you're the one that wanted to talk about this because it's your man.
No, come on. If Deontay Wilder would have been on First Take, it would have been...
No, it wouldn't.
Dust off the microphones. Fucking here we go. Maybe not this channel.
Some channels, yes. Some channels.
Maybe other channels. I don't know. Maybe I was just generalizing. But no, I think it's a big deal. Everyone's wanted Joshua. A lot of Americans or the Wilder fans or whatever, like, Joshua doesn't ever say anything. Eddie Hearn speaks for him. This, that, and the other. And now he's over on First Take. I think that's quite a big deal over there. Like well watched, well tuned into. I think you've got more First Take to show or speak about later.
Yes, with Dana White being on First Take.
Oh, you spoiled the surprise. Oh, ruined it. This isn't about.
I hate you're such a cunt.
Yeah, so Wilder, Joshua on there saying, "Look, I want to fight Wilder. I want to fight champions." I know he said, "I'm not interested in Fury." To him, he doesn't hold a belt. I don't think there is a lineal championship belt. I'll never see Fury walk down the ring with it.
It's the ring. The ring belt, technically, the lineal belt.
Is it technically?
I mean, not technically, but they're one the same most of the time. Because the Ring magazine back in the day, when it wasn't owned by Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, it was seen as that was the determining factor. They picked out a champion back in the day that superseded way back before the WBA. You had the NBA, the National Boxing Association. It superseded that belt back in the 20s and 30s, etc. But that's boxing nerdism. It's 2018.
Doesn't mean lineal.
Or like I've always said, belts don't matter. Like the fighter makes the belt doesn't really make the fighter. Especially in today's age where we have so many belts. We have the international, silver, regular, interim. 4 different major sanctioning bodies, not including the IBO, which God fucking damn them, and everyone trying to bring them up. They should never be mentioned ever, only in disgust and disgrace. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, sort of back to what Joshua was saying. You know?
Oh, yeah, back to that. Yeah, the fight's not happening, AJ. Sorry. Go fight Dylan White in the rematch. Wilder Fury, you have the rematch as well. Winners fight each other. Losers fight each other. And we're good. Gerald Miller, go keep fighting random Europeans. Thank you.
Or as I was going to say. No, I just think it's a better look for Joshua over in the States. I've seen some Americans kind of comment and saying, you know, there you go. That's what we wanted to see. That's the AJ we thought maybe you were early doors, and then suddenly you've gone all quiet and Eddie Hearn's done all the talking. But he's on your network, your channels and whatever, saying, I'm all about the champ. I want to fight your champion. And whether it happens or not, you know, who cares? But, well, I do, but as long as it does at some point. But, yeah, I just thought it was good. You know, I think he's done good numbers on the social media. There's a lot of retweets and I think like 500,000 views on the Twitter one. I don't know about the Instagram one, but, you know, especially with someone like Max Kellerman, you know, able to, you know, sort of get at him, maybe grill him a little bit. And he sort of pushed him on the lineal thing. And he's like, look, when I entered boxing, no one told me about the lineal belt or whatever, the lineal thing. I just knew about the WBC, this, that, and the other. And I've got 4 of them. And he's got the other one. And maybe because what did he say? I don't wear a load of ice around my neck, talk about this, that, and pay-per-view numbers. To which he then later tweeted a picture of him with all the belts and said, you know, I'm not all about the bling. You know, I'm not flashy. And he was like, got all the 4 belts behind him. So AJ does a lot of little sort of sly little.
I also like how he said, I'm not worried about Tyson Fury. I don't want to fight Tyson Fury. I don't care about the linear belt. And at the very end, he was like, hey, if you guys want me to fight him for the lineal belt, I'll fight Tyson Fury. Like AJ's gonna be a great promoter post his career. Like I think everyone needs to realize that AJ is probably more built for that than in terms of like actually like not being a boxer. That's probably wrong to say, but I think he's gonna be. I'll just put it this way: compared to let's say Miguel Cotto Promotions, Evander Holyfield Promotions, you know, he's gonna be I think better than those guys. Obviously. Maybe I don't think he's gonna be a better than a prime promoter Oscar, but then again, even that's up for debate because, God, look at Oscar at a press conference. God damn!
I'm glad you clarified that because he's built better to be a promoter than a boxer.
Yeah, that sounded wrong when it came out, but you know what I mean though, right? Like AJ knows how to talk. Like his PR training is near perfect.
This is it. I mean, all the times people wanted AJ should go to the fight or he should have allowed Wilder into the ring. If you're trying to look for a Tyson Fury / Wilder type build-up, do not put Anthony Joshua in that situation because it will be just cringe. He's not about that. He's not going to do the big bravado thing.
Well, I think he doesn't need to do that. He can be the good guy. He can be the baby face. And he can have Wilder or Fury be the one yelling, right? Like I think that could sell, right? But those moments are only manufactured when they actually want to make the fight. I think neither side really wants to make the fight now, so it doesn't really matter, you know? Like the whole getting in the ring shit, like going to the fight, they're not fighting each other for the next 12 months? Like, if they don't want to show up, I get it. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that you have to be just like Triple G going to every Canelo fight for 3 years. Like, yeah, that was great. That was awesome. But it also didn't mean everything every time. And every time that happened, it lost its luster, right? Every time we saw Triple G in attendance at the Canelo fight, we're like, oh, this is the time. It's going to happen. How many times did he get in the ring with Canelo and say the fight's going to get made? More than once. And the fight didn't get made. So... Again, I rather just when the fight gets made and the contract is signed, then I'll be hyped for it. Then they can go do press together. Then they can go have the bravado scene and AJ be the stoic guy. I'm okay with that, but do it after the contract is signed. I'm okay with missing it beforehand because it's already built in. The hype's already there. We've already been sold on the fight. Whenever this fight does happen, I think it will do, especially if it's in the U.S. it could break 1 million pay-per-view buys potentially.
Yeah. Maybe.
You know, it maybe not that. Maybe high 700s, high 800s.
I think it's better than the Fury.
Oh, far and away better because
the
AJ. No, it's not. It's not just that. AJ would be perceived as a legit threat to Wilder. That was not really the case in the U.S. before Wilder Fury. It may be so now in the rematch. That's why everyone thinks the rematch is better because everyone now thinks Fury is a legit threat to this guy. AJ and Wilder are seen as the 1A, 1B, whichever way you have it, of the division. It's 50-50. It's Lennox, Tyson in their prime in a way. That I think will sell in and of itself regardless of the animosity, which I think will just add more to it. That's why I think it may break that 1 million, is on top of just the real competitive edge we have here between the two, or that animosity on top of it will add even more buys to the pay-per-view. But digressing.
I think if we all kind of know that Joshua Wilder isn't next, can someone please tell Deontay Wilder to stop saying one face, one name, one champion, or the division's too...
Nah, I'm okay with that. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Like I do, damn it.
Why? Why?
He's said this all the time, and he never accepts a deal. He never wants... I don't know. It just...
Well, to
doesn't happen.
Technically, there was an accepted deal. It wasn't signed, but it was accepted. It just didn't materialize. Secondly,
which one? The BT one?
No, the 50 million guaranteed.
The 50?
15.
Oh, the 15?
Yeah. He agreed to that. He agreed to that. Remember?
Yeah. But he never.
Did I say he signed it? No, I said he agreed.
No. So again.
Secondly, Robert Turns. Okay. Just like Eddie can go and say the buy rate's terrible, and that's just be a flat out lie.
Yeah.
Right. Wilder can go out and say he's the one name, one face, one champion, and it can be just a flat out lie. I'm okay with that. It's selling the fight.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, does Eddie saying the pay-per-view did terrible, does that bother you, to use your word specifically? Does it bother you when he says that?
I don't know if it's the same thing. No, I'm just saying I don't think that's the same thing. Look for your sound bites, find your sound bites, whatever. Give me whatever you want.
You know what's sad? I don't have like a concise
cheap
UK
one.
No, not cheap. I need a UK one. Like I need like maybe a small clip of like the national anthem over there or some shit. I don't know.
For me to wait for.
Yeah, something. You know, some sort of flag wavy shit. The sheep is the other channel. Because I think that's comical, but that's again the other channel. Flag waving is what I've always said about you. That's my thing when it comes to you, you flag waver.
My guy, but
digressing, we don't need to keep going on about AJ Wilder. It's not happening, so we can move on.
But very quick, I know Joshua's going to be ringside at Canelo, apparently, which is now making me lean towards Gerald Miller maybe in April because he's going to be ringside.
They are definitely going to pop off. Like, there's definitely going to be a moment where they pop off, right?
We know Miller's going to get in his face. He's put something like, Joshua's in my town now. I'm not going to be scared. I don't think you're meant to be scared. I don't think that's, like Joshua's on the manhunt. Although, you did say you wanted to take his mama out on a date. So, watch your back, Miller. No, who knows? But whether this is something there's going to be a filmed confrontation of some sort where AJ stood bolt upright and sort of muttering stuff under his breath, and Miller's being the sort of verbal aggressor, trying to goad Joshua. Who knows? But whether that's leading into some kind of April fight, that's maybe just a little hunch I sort of maybe thought of. But
speaking of maybe thought of, NBC maybe thought of a main event multi-year television deal.
See what you did there.
And then just and then decide at the very last minute to say, nope.
Who the fuck is that guy?
And said, who the fuck is main events? And decided not to spend unnecessary money on a promotion that has one or two guys that are relevant in boxing, and I'm using relevant in a very loose term in the U.S.
Name the one or two.
Well, Dimitri Bivol, obviously.
Yeah.
and Ryan Martin. That's where the highly debatable, relevant.
Now I'll say number 2.
I said Ryan Martin.
Oh God! All right, so.
But I mean, Bivol's obviously a champion. I think a lot of people are high on Bivol in terms of hardcores, but is NBC really looking at him as a guy that can, be the column of a NBC main events deal? No, maybe a prime Kovalev, like back in the day a few years ago. Like I could see that because Kovalev was pulling in numbers, but I think far and away, like this was just a bad deal on its face. Like I don't know who was in NBC thinking, "Oh, this is the shit right here. Let's get it." Though to be fair, I've said this before and I'll say it again. One of the big 4 sports in the U.S., NHL, hockey, their best TV rating this year was only 650,000 viewers on NBC. That was it. So NBC's, and on top of that, they have PFL, Professional Fighters League, which is a really like F-rated in terms of like the alphabet. It's not even B-rated, C-rated. No, it's all the way F, maybe G or H, J, maybe an M-rated MMA promotion that has literally zero relevant talent in MMA. There's an argument maybe that main events could have put together some sort of package that they could have been happy with. I don't think that's realistic at all. I'm glad they didn't do it. It made zero sense. Now Dimitri Bivol can go and fight on ESPN, can go fight on Showtime, Fox, DAZN, whoever it is, fight Better Beef, fight Vasiliy Alvarez wherever he ends up, whoever it may be. And I think that's what we wanted instead of him going to a separate network on a separate deal in a very, very small fucking island that has one fucking palm tree. This was bad on its face. I'm glad it didn't happen. Rob?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I know combat sports at the moment seems to be a real hot commodity. A lot of people want a piece of it, but you should want the right pieces. I don't know if that makes sense.
And I know this sounds like we're hating, and I really shouldn't care about this because I hate on a lot of things on this show. But I like Bivol. Like Bivol's always seemed like a very nice guy, right? Like he seemed like someone that you would want to like barbecue with,
At your granddad's house.
Yeah, and because of that, I feel bad for hating on it. But he should not be the main guy on some sort of network deal for anything.
Not in like English-speaking country, maybe.
Not anywhere. Like I'm sorry, like that just doesn't exist. Regardless of what his presence is in Russia, he's not a Russian commodity over there. Like he's fighting in the U.S. Like it's just like what was a good example? James DeGale in a way was like this for a while. Like he wasn't really a UK commodity. Why? Because he wasn't fighting over there. He was a U.S. marketed fighter. Canelo, in my opinion, isn't I'm going to use this term, Mexican fighter in that way because he's not really fighting in Mexico. That's not his market. His market is the U.S. That's where he's trying to make his money. That's where they're trying to make his name for. That's where the network deals are being made, etc.
Yeah, this was always something I used to poke at, like Nez and everything about like your biggest pay-per-view star. Like the biggest US pay-per-view star isn't actually from the US, but I know he's making his living there. But it always used to be he's not even American. I used to.
Yeah, but that never has mattered.
No, it's just an angle I used to use.
Yeah, I know because you're a troll and a hater. But again, that's beside the point. Bivol is a non-commodity. Period. And main events right now in 2018, 2019 is a non-commodity.
Yeah,
it would have been
on the right platform. He's a player in the division, and someone that can be, put into certain fights, and they're going to be maybe good fights to watch. But he's not like the Joshua of Sky Sports Network. He's not the Canelo on DAZN. He's the flag guiding light of oh, NBC have just landed Bivol. What? Who? For a lot of people, it's not even and I just don't know how deep their stable is. I don't know what kind of fight. I don't know who's signed to main events outside of sort of those few that you mentioned.
Speaking of few that we can mention, Vasiliy Lomachenko at lightweight. There's been a few names have been mentioned. Obviously, we've heard, I think, inklings of Jose Pedraza. We've heard very light whispers of Felix Verdejo. However, shout out to the boxing gods and Lance Pugmire with the news. Vasiliy Lomachenko will be in attendance for Richard Commey's next fight for the vacant IBF belt. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that Richard Commey, which arguably beat Robert Easter Jr. This, to me, is the best route for Lomachenko. It's the toughest fight in the division, minus Mikey Garcia at this point. And I love that Loma is going right for the jugular with the most, I'm using the term feared guy in the division. That might be a wrong term to use, but it seems like people don't want to fight Richard Commey due to the power, due to the durability, due to he's just a problem. He's a guy that's going to give everyone issues, I think, including Loma, including Mikey. He's a guy that gives everyone problems. Regardless of him winning the fight, he's going to give them problems. Rob, I see you're shaking your head. It's okay. Calm down. Hold on. Let me ask you the question. First off, do you think this fight happens? Secondly, what do you think of the fight?
Yeah, I think this probably happens. Just how they're trying to move Loma and his plans, how he wants to do things. But I think ducking your mandatory in Anthony Crolla is a bad move. It's not a good look. No, I just wanted Crolla to say that.
Yo. I know you're joking.
Yeah.
But I know there's going to be legitimate people out there actually thinking that. Sorry, not legitimate people. People out there that legitimately think that. And those people, I'll say it again as I pull up the soundbite.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Yes, okay. If anyone really wants to see Anthony Crolla fight Lomachenko, you are a sick person that wants to see Anthony get beat up brutally. Richard Commey, that's a fight. Anthony Crolla is a slaughter. Like Crolla gets Lomachenko, in my opinion.
And I'm the hater.
I definitely said I'm the hater.
No,
we are both haters. Let's get that straight up.
Just right back at you kind of thing. I get it. It's where you go. Don't be mad. Don't be. No,
just send me location.
No, on a personal note, I know you think he probably gets his ass kicked and this, that, and the other, but Crolla would be game. I'd like to see another purse bid between, Eddie and Bob. I'm sure Bob would absolutely massively throw the kitchen sink at this, because it's Loma. Wouldn't want to see Loma go over to Sky Sports and DAZN. That would be an absolutely killer blow. But and I think Eddie would try to massively overpay to make that happen as well. Especially as he lost the other one with Hooker and Saucedo. So that kind of part of it really interests me, like purse bids and who's going to win? Oh shit! If Eddie was to land that would be pretty huge, right? Loma on DAZN, not ESPN Plus. That would be, crazy times. But as far as like the Commey fight, I just think that's the way they want to go with Loma. Just anything other than a bout these days just seems like, not that. Loma's what? He's not fighting for a bout. I know he didn't make the last guy quit, so people are like, so if he goes into the Commey fight,
another unification.
Yeah, another unification. His numbers, I believe, have just got higher and higher and higher each time.
Well, quickly, that 2 million viewership is a little bit deceiving because I know people like the article, like the headline doesn't really explain it. That's purely the Loma fight itself, not the whole event. The event average is 1.8 million. The Loma Pedraza fight itself, which they can obviously tell, they can, have the statistics on the particular fight. That peaked at, I believe, like 2.1 million.
Wow. Somewhere
around that. For reference, when we talk about numbers, we're going to talk about the event average always. So, like, when we bring up this fight future on the show, whenever, for anyone listening, we're always going to bring up the 1.8 million because that is the more accurate number we should really talk about.
Yeah, but I thought I saw a tweet where it was like his recent, last fight, 5 fight cards. They've just improved in numbers each time. So, Loma's special. He's going to do special things, and it's going to be no surprise that he takes a unification in his next fight. So, whatever you got next.
Oh, well, shout out to your other man, Mr. Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
The Gypsy Prince. To face Zoltan Zera on the Warrington-Frampton undercard. And on top of this, just to add to it, Nathan Gorman filling in for Daniel Dubois, who's out with the flu, I believe, and fighting Razvan Kanhonu, whatever, the guy that fought Joseph Parker and Luis Ortiz those 2 times that he got his ass kicked, and we only know about him from.
He went 12 with Parker, right?
Yeah, that was such a bad fight. I remember seeing that live. Goddamn. Billy Joe Saunders versus this guy. Defend it, Rob.
All I'm going to say is, look, he's lost his bout. He's coming back, I guess, and I think this is quite a last-minute kind of addition. Obviously, the cards. Is it next weekend? Not this Saturday coming.
Yeah, next weekend. Next weekend. Yeah, next weekend.
So yeah, I think this has been sort of put together fairly quickly. I don't know how it stood. Obviously, Billy Joe Saunders' misdemeanors were deemed as okay. Like he hadn't done anything wrong in this country, so he can obviously fight here. But yeah, he's on the comeback trail. Got to rebuild. It's going to be hard for him now because I think who's going to give him that shot? Because people know what Billy, when he had the bout, that was fine. People wanted the shot because there was a bout there, but now he hasn't got. He's going to have to build himself into some kind of mandatory position. Because I can't see anyone. I'll give Billy Joe Saunders a shot at my title. I don't think any of them really want that.
And on top of just his skill level being a problem for fighters and why they wouldn't just give him a shot, he's also been a guy that's dropped out of numerous fights. He's been a guy that just is unreliable on some level. That, I think, is probably even more of an issue than just his ability. If this guy was consistent, we would be talking about him different, but he's not. He's always off, videotaping himself, talking to crackheads on the street, telling him to go, hit people, failing drug tests, getting really, really Prince Nassim level overweight. He's just been unreliable in the past 4 years. And I think promoters, probably more so than fighters, see that as an issue. It's hard to put marketing dollars, promoting hours into a fight that may not even happen. And quickly call in a 1-323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue if you are international. Email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com. We will be moving to our MMA portion of the show as soon as we wrap up this topic, Rob, unfortunately. I know. It's okay. It's okay. We're talking about a lot of topics over there as well. You guys can wait, stay in the show, whatever it is. Rob, I echo a lot with what you say. I don't really give him a pass for this level of opponent too much because it's not like he was out with an injury. It's not like he lost his belt in a legitimate fight. It doesn't seem that way. Canelo, post his PD issue, went straight into the Triple G fight. There wasn't any talk of him taking a tune-up and anything like that. It was, nope, the second this suspension's clear, I'm fighting you in September. That's it. I don't like this aspect. Maybe, obviously, it's different because Canelo wasn't really stripped of anything. Canelo was still the money man, so Triple G would take the fight, let's be honest. That could be a factor. On top of that, Demetrius Andrade is in his own legal issues right now, so it's not like they can really talk about fighting each other at any time right now until that is cleared up. Hopefully, though, Billy Joe Saunders fights someone of note, someone in the top 10 soon. To throw out a name and obviously to sort of get a mandatory status because of the Frank Warren connection to ESPN, Rob Brandt obviously is an ESPN fighter and has the regular belt. Rob Brandt versus Billy Joe Saunders. That would be an option and route I would go down. That seems to be easier to make in terms. Mitty, mute yourself. Oh my God.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, man. Put some headphones on, man. You're on speakerphone. You got the TV in the background. You know. God, look at that double chin over there, man. You got to cut some weight. God damn. But anyways.
Very quick, talking to CBS Sports, Canelo Alvarez on Gennady Golovkin. They will never accept the loss, especially because it was his first loss. Look, I know it's tough. I understand. But he also needs to understand how the fight went. He needs to accept it as a man and accept the loss.
God bless Canelo, man. What a fucking gangster, man.
Smoke.
Goddamn. Only if he could speak English. If only he could speak English. I wish I understand. I wish I understood like all the shit talk he says, because he says a lot of shit, right? We just don't understand it.
Just very quickly on Canelo in English, I did see someone tweet. It's a toss-up between who can speak the better English, Canelo or Rocky Fielding. Obviously, he's got the Scouse accent. I was like, harsh.
Definitely harsh. But we're going to go out to Mitty. Hold on, Mitty, because you came in very loud, so let me turn you down. But Mitty, what's up? Mitty, you're on mute.
Yo, what's up? I'm getting ready, man. I'm getting headphones and all that thing, man.
Okay, you want to come back to us in a second?
Yeah, give me 2 minutes.
Okay, that's okay, Mitty. Only for you, bud.
Love a little bit of background music if you want.
Emotional. Why you emotional?
That's good.
I back.
Okay, Mitty, what is up?
Oh, I'm good, guys. I'm good. So I'm guessing I've just literally joined, and I wasn't ready. So I'm sorry if I messed up the quality and all that. So
it's okay. It's okay.
But
Mitty, quickly, whatever is the receiver end, like whatever is picking up the audio, must be hitting your zipper or something on your jacket. That's what it sounds like.
The zipper?
I don't know. Like wherever you are talking into your phone, it's like clicking. Like it sounds like it's static.
Is it better now?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, you're good now, Mitty. You can go. You can continue your call.
All right. So I'm guessing you're talking Canelo and Rocky Fielding, right?
Yes, of course.
All right. Okay. Is it like, I don't know what to think, right? So I want Rocky Fielding to do well, like everyone, I guess, in the UK, or everyone who likes an underdog. But obviously, I don't see it going well, for him, unfortunately. And but I mean, it's interesting to see Canelo going at 168, and I mean, he's done that I don't know. Was it at 168 against Chavez Jr. or
it was a catch weight? It was a catch weight, I believe. I think it was 165 something. Rob, can you check that, please?
Yeah. But I think it must have been a catch weight, right? Especially for Chavez Jr. But I don't know if we're going to see something similar to that fight, because whilst I want to think that Rocky Fielding hits harder, I don't think it's more durable than Chavez Jr. And a lot of people think that he'll get caught to the body. And Canelo is a devastating body puncher. I love his left hook to the body, especially the way he sets it up, with a little tap upstairs first, and then it comes back downstairs. But actually, I'm not sure if it's gonna be a body shot. I think it might be one of those big looping shots, top of the head or something like that. But anyway, Canelo needs to do the business to look good. Otherwise, a lot of people are gonna shit on him, saying cherry picking, terrible performance. And on the zone as well, so we don't know what the zone means, and we don't know what numbers means, and blah blah blah. So I'm just hoping that it's a good, entertaining fight, and then Fielding gives a good account of himself, and then. But I hope that Canelo does it in style, right? Because we want to see bigger and better fights in the future. So
quickly, that catch weight for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was 164.5. Thank you, Rob.
Cool. All right. So yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's much to talk about, like in terms of what's happening this weekend and all that. So
you don't want to talk about Gilberto Ramirez versus Jesse Hart. Your girl, Katie Taylor.
To me, Katie Taylor for probably another, I don't know how long, even for until she meets someone that is like a challenge. I think she's gonna be put on showcase. She's gonna be able to showcase her talent, and a lot of people are gonna keep raving on about her, and that's good for her, I guess, right? But that's the problem of being so talented and lacking competition, right? So a lot of people are always going to discredit you or not appreciate what you are, and especially with female boxing, right? So I'm in a difficult position because I want to praise women boxing, I want to push it, but at the same time, I don't think that this fight is going to do anything for that. And it's just good for Katie Taylor. And I'm controversial also because, I actually don't like her style. She lets her hands go and it's nice, and but it's because of who she has in front of her. I think, I think if it was a guy or in a stack division where there are people that can pick up on some of the openings that she leaves, she's susceptible.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
She's susceptible to counters, right? Basically, that's what I think.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
I don't.
This is the French coming out. I can tell. There's that anti-UK bias I hear in that inner Parisian.
No. She's the only one. I think boxing, both female and male, is in the UK, right? So, Clarissa Shields is a name, obviously, and is making waves and all that. But I think she's not gonna be that superstar because of who she thinks she is. I think So, and
Midi, quickly, just to go down a quick tangent on this. Regardless of superstar status, because I don't think any of the women right now can achieve that. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Is there a female boxer out there that you see as the best? Is it Katie Taylor? Is it someone else? Who is that best female boxer right now?
Stylistically, I like Nicola Adams. I really like her style. That's down to preferences and the way you put your punches and the way you work your opponent out. And so I'm a big Nicola Adams fan. But again, I'm not saying that she is going to be that superstar. So you're right, there's no superstar, and it really depends on what you like. The problem is just finding a division where you can find two really recognizable names that will make like a trilogy or a 50-50. And I'd love to see Clarissa Shields against Marshall, right? So, and see some kind of either Shields avenges her defeat in the amateurs, or Marshall solidifies that win and then takes her off her perch, right? So that's what I would like to see. But yeah, there's no superstar. It's just what you like in terms of eye test, and I like Nicola Adams. Sorry.
Interesting. Okay, chat's not very happy with you right now. It's okay. I understand.
It's okay. That's all opinion, right? So, which is the beauty of it. So.
It is definitely an opinion. That is true.
Yeah.
It's not the right opinion, but it is a opinion. That is true.
Yeah, Midi.
What's up, Rob?
Nicola Taylor's fight. Can you guess what Eddie Hearn said about the fight?
Nicola Taylor or Katie?
Katie Taylor's fight.
Wow, both of you. God. Nicola Evans, Nicola Taylor.
Adams. Like
Come
maybe
on.
it's like the accent, but Adams is the name.
Can you guess what Eddie Hearn said about the Katie Taylor fight?
It's the best fight of the weekend, and I don't know, something like that.
I'll give you one more. He said it's her toughest opponent to date.
Yeah,
she is ranked number 2. She is ranked number 2.
Every time it's gonna be like that, right? So every time it's gonna be like that, and the hard thing for him will be finding a way to top it up all the time, or to top it off all the time, right? So once you give her like rank number 2, where do you go next?
Well, I believe in IFL today, he said he's looking to fight Amanda Serrano in January, and then he wants the Katie Taylor fight after that. So Serrano, Taylor, or Taylor Serrano.
Yeah, why not? But again, I don't know if it's it's recognized, and I would not say that I know enough about Serrano to just say that I followed a whole career and I can tell you who's whether it's a great fight or not a great fight. All I know is based on pedigree, Katie Taylor, people who she's on even if she wins that fight, because they say, oh, you know what, she's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mitty?
No, that's it.
Thank you, Mitty. Always a great time talking to you. Rob, you know what? I've been thinking about it. Thinking about it. Yes. The show, I think, will be actually ending. We're going to change the title up. I'm going to do a second show that is purely MMA, just because it's too much. It's too much I need to discuss in the MMA world. It needs to be a separate show. Don't hate, Rob. Mainly because I also have another show coming up in an hour and a half. And I need to eat food. So I don't know exactly when that MMA show would be. I'm thinking obviously tomorrow morning, with a Patreon only show right after it. I don't know if it's gonna be championship rounds. It might be something else, because we've been talking about rebranding. We've been talking about new shows. So, anyways, a lot in the work. But yes, tomorrow most likely. Tomorrow morning, don't know have exact time, but it's gonna be probably bright and early. I'm gonna wake up, get some coffee, have the show. Think 1 p.m. Eastern. That's probably around the time it's gonna be. 10 a.m. Pacific time. After I have, shower, coffee, maybe some eggs, the usual shit.
What I'm saying is, make sure you click that notification bell for when Matt goes live.
Definitely have that notification bell. Or follow me, Matt Hunter MCR, on Twitter, where I always definitely post links well in advance, multiple times, and get my obnoxious political thoughts, which I know a lot of people love. Thank you, Rob. Final thoughts. Interesting fights. Obviously, the whole Canelo move to the zone. That's the big storyline, I think. Regardless of the fights coming up this weekend, Gilberto Ramirez versus Jesse Hart, the rematch. I really like that fight. The storyline is it's Canelo Alvarez on a streaming app. The paradigm is shifting. And I cannot wait to see where it leads. But like I said, Matt Hunter MCR, all platforms. Smash that motherfucking like button. Share the show. Subscribe. If you're listening on podcast form, drop that 5-star review and leave a review. Write one out. I read them. I like them. Yes. Even if it's a 1-star. I read those too on the show because they're fun. That 1-star review that we had that one time, because we've only had one, that is still the funniest review. And it's also the most recent one. So the first review you see is a 1-star review, ladies and gentlemen. So please go and write a 5-star one. Write out, even if it's a 3-star. I'll fucking take an average review. I'm okay with average.
Average ain't good. You don't want average.
It's okay. It's okay.
You got to divide opinion. Love you or hate you.
Nah. I'm okay with just being indifferent and watching our content. You can be indifferent and watch us. You can hate watch us too. I always enjoy that. Those are always actually the funnest. I'll be honest.
Suddenly starting a show with 3 thumbs down before.
And we know who those 3 people are. It's Legendary Boxer, and there's 3 different accounts. So it's okay. It happens. Anyways, yeah, this long rant about nothing. Outro. Be back later today. TBV. Flagship show there. Be back later in the morning. MCR. Hopefully we get the name changed on our channel soon. God damn it. God. YouTube, please help a brother out. Rob.
Yeah, like Matt said, you know, Canelo on the app. First show is obviously this is designed. He's going to get a win on the app. But you know, all the best to Rocky Fielding. I really hope you can give a good account of yourself. And obviously, a lot of UK are traveling over, so make a lot of noise. Show those Americans how we you know, enjoy the atmosphere and make it fun. So, what else have we got? Yeah, the Jesse Hart. You know, I might tune in or set the record and catch up with that one. Obviously, we'll do a breakdown show, and you know, we'll remind Gary that he completely fucked up today. But
this may be his worst pick, right?
Yeah, at least Flanagan was like a world champion, former. You know,
it's all right.
Yeah,
we love you, Gary.
Yeah,
you've been a proud Patreon for a long time. We love that, and we always appreciate you calling in.
We do.
But I mean, let's be honest.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking?
I mean, I'm just concerned, Gary. Sorry, Rob, butt in there.
It's all right. But you know, what was that song?
What is that song? I believe the Beatles had it. Is all you need is one. Deontay Wilder just needs one shot.
All you need is one. That is true.
All you need. One is all you need.
That #1 hit single, "All You Need Is One," by the Beatles.
Biggest band of maybe all time. But yeah, shout out. But yeah, subscribe. Tell a friend. We really want to get the subscribers, you know, started to really like ticking over. So share the show, hit that thumbs up, follow MCR on
it's MCR Radio Show on Twitter, Mixed Combat Radio on Facebook, MCR Podcast on Instagram. Shout out to the UFC fucking up our synergy.
Yes.
And also MCR being a reference to My Chemical Romance, which I had no idea. And the litany of, you know, Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts that have MCR in them is fucking ridiculous.
Shout out to all the emos tuning in.
The band's been dead for like a decade, guys. Like, delete the accounts. Delete the accounts.
How long ago was Black Parade? Don't say that. 10 years, really?
It's probably been close to a decade.
Holy shit.
Fuck it. This is the 4th time we played the outro song. You can look it up right now. I'm okay.
All right.
Look it up. Look it up. Okay, it's probably not a decade, but I'm thinking I'll give a number.
All right.
2011. 2011. I'm gonna go 2011.
Black Parade.
Come on, Matt. Matt stats. Come on.
Release date was the 23rd.
The suspense is killing me.
October. Get ready. 2006.
Oh my god. 2006.
That don't seem possible.
Wow.
I've definitely had hair to about there at the time.
Oh, you just had hair, period. Like
I had hair, yeah.
Yeah, you had hair like that.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I should have realized it was that long ago.
Wow, I was young. No wonder I actually liked MCR at that point. I was like 11, 12. The angsty pre-teenage. Anyways, 5th time with the outro song. Rob, where can they find you? At the MCR fandom pages.
I don't even remember anymore.
MCR. What was the? God damn it. Never mind. Like the chat forums. MCR chat forums. Like back in the mid 2000s, you were on them.
People will probably think I'm more of a. What was the abbreviation for? I can't even do it quickly in my head either. This is really pitiful, but I was going to say Creedence Clearwater Revival. CCR. There you go.
Yo, I've actually seen John Fogerty in concert.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, and the funny part is he has all the rights to those songs, so fuck you, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah, they're mine.
They're mine.
They're mine. But yeah, I mean, this is something we can maybe do Patreon on. You know, obviously we got Fugati with his musical taste, and you two go backwards and forwards with your pop shit. But there's a little bit of other knowledge that we could maybe do a show about.
I act like I don't know like rock and roll, but that's what I was born on. But it's just ancient now. People like you listen to it. People my age don't. Anyways, digressing. Find Rob at UK Rob Boxing, whatever. Rob _ Retherall, whatever sort of bullshit.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever. Robbie Hearns, aka is his name. Have a great day. Peace.
Later.